NBA season wrapped up, and really no surprise, the Cavs and their head coach Larry Drew agreed to mutually part ways. Let's bring in Cleveland.com Cavs beat reporter Chris Fedor. Chris, a 19-win season, you know, the arrangement kind of evolved at the beginning of the year to keep Larry Drew on as the head coach. This really isn't a big surprise, and in fact, the Cavs have probably been looking all season long at who their next head coach will be.
I think any team like the Cavs that's in the middle of a rebuild, Dave, they have to have some kind of general list of who they may go after into the future. So, yeah, I think they've been compiling that. I talked to an agent of one of these coaches, two of these coaches, three of these coaches that are probably going to be on the Cavs list late last night, and they said they hadn't heard from the Cavs as of yet. So I think the Cavs are going to spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday really compiling that list, really finalizing that list, trying to set up interviews. But it made sense that they went this direction because rebuilds aren't for everybody. I don't think they were for Larry Drew. And I just think where Larry is in his life and his career is a lot different than where the Cavs are at this stage of their rebuild.
You mentioned it. What are some of the qualities that the Cavs will be looking for in that new head coach that will be on that list that they're going to go through and compile the next few days, really?
Well, it's going to be a wide-ranging search for the Cavs. They don't want to shortchange themselves. They don't want to rush this decision for the first time in, 4 years? They actually have 2 extra months to do something in the offseason, and it's not going to be as short as it's been recently. So it's going to be a little bit of first-year head coaches. It's going to be retread. It's going to be college rank. They're going to look everywhere to try and find the right fit for this organization moving forward. And I think the things that they're going to be looking for, Dave, are do you have some kind of background in terms of developing players? Can you get more out of the roster than what is currently here? I think youth is going to matter. And not just because they don't want somebody who's old, but they want somebody who's going to grow with this young core that they're building and be here for 5 to 10 years and maybe solidify something that hasn't been solidified over the past. And I think the other thing that's probably going to matter to them is, does this person come from a winning environment, a winning culture, where he knows what that looks like, he knows what it feels like, and he knows what it took to get to that point?
Any names at all that, just to keep an eye on, and without giving away anybody that you might have talked to or his agent you might have talked to, are there any names that you consistently hear pop up when you mention hot young coaching prospects in the NBA?
Without a doubt. I think Jordi Fernandez of the Denver Nuggets, he was with the Canton Charge. He was with the Cleveland Cavaliers as a player development coach. That's where he got his start. He's somebody who I think the Cavs are going to have strong interest in. He's been the lead assistant, one of the lead assistants for the Denver Nuggets. They're going to the playoffs. He learned under Mike Malone. Denver is all about player development and trying to get these guys in positions where they can be successful and in position where they can get the most out of where they were drafted. That's how Denver had to do it because they're not a huge free agent destination like Cleveland. So he makes a lot of sense. I think Alex Jensen, the assistant coach of the Utah Jazz. The Cavs have a lot of respect for the Jazz and the way that they run their program. He was also with the Canton Charge as a head coach, so he's got head coaching experience from that standpoint. I think David Vanderpool from Portland, Nate Tibbetts from Portland, those kinds of guys I think make a lot of sense for the Cavs, and I think they really, really like all of them.